everyone, this is a life vlog for the week of October 12th, 2025 to October 18th, 2025, and overall this week was really good. Like, I wasn't angry at all as far as I can remember. There were a few moments of irritation, but overall a very good week emotionally, and the weather was really nice as well. I was outside and I photosynthesized outside this past week in my ballet flats, whatever you call them, the shoes that broke that I love and adore and I wore all summer, and they broke, and I was like, oh, I'm going to use these to just kind of stand outside in the yard and the driveway, and I did that, and I am happy to report back that they work wonderfully as standing outside to photosynthesize and walk around the yard, the driveway shoes. They work amazing, perfect. So I'm going to keep them around until they completely fall apart, which will hopefully be several months, hopefully even years in the future. So that's amazing. But also randomly, it got so hot on Saturday, as in today, as I'm filming this. It was randomly so hot today for no reason. More on that later though. And I bruised my hand. It's pretty much gone completely. I bruised it. You can very faintly see it right there, and I think it's important to note because a couple of weeks ago, I want to say a month or two back, my grandmother burned her hand accidentally in that same exact spot, like the same exact spot, same exact hand, same exact spot, and I thought that was just crazy. I thought that was insane. I was just swinging my arms around while I was outside, and my phone was in my pocket, and I accidentally hit my hand. Oh, you can see here that little spot. I accidentally hit my hand on the corner of my phone, and it bruised, which is so random because I feel like I wasn't swinging my arms that hard, nor is my phone, well, I guess the phone can bruise people. It has potential to bruise it, whatever, you get the point. I just thought it was not important, I just thought it was interesting and really cool to note. Also, did I mention that I'm sorry if you can hear the noise in the background? It's kind of hot in here. Let me just turn it off. Oh no, as in it's kind of cold in here, so I turned the space heater on. Let me turn it off though. I can deal with the cold for a little bit. I'll be back. All right, I hope that is just so much better for everyone. And another warning, I didn't do much at all this week. Sorry for the TMI, but I was on my period, and when I'm on my period, I don't really want to do much of anything ever at all, and I think that's fine because I'm in a position in my life right now where I don't need to do anything if I don't want to while I'm on my period. If I have the option to not be going outside and doing things and being more miserable, especially when it's so hot outside still, then it's fine. You know, then it's fine. Might as well take advantage of that privilege while I have it. But I did do a couple of things. I went to Sam's Club, and I love Sam's Club. One thing about Sam's Club, a year or two ago, I want to say they messed up the entire setup of our Sam's Club, and all the aisles were all out of place, and it was just kind of not bad. I mean, obviously it's been a year or so it's grown on me, but last time I went with my dad, and they switched it back to the original, which threw me off completely again. I was like, what was the reason to do this? You know, I'm not gonna complain because I did miss the original setup and everything, but that was fun. I was like, oh my gosh, this really took me back to when I was younger, as in 2 years ago, but also when I was a child. Really nostalgic setup. And I don't know what it was, maybe I was just in a really nostalgic mood or whatever, but I bought Cheeto Puffs, which I haven't bought or eaten since I was so little. And when I say Cheeto Puffs, I mean Cheeto balls, because in the past when we got them, because they come in these giant containers, I feel like we didn't finish them on time and they would become so stale and nobody would want to eat them. But I was craving them, and then nostalgia was getting to me, and I got them. And actually we've worked through, I want to say maybe a fifth of the big container so far, so hopefully we stick with that. I got chocolate chip cookies, which I have been craving for so long. I got sushi from their vegetarian sushi, because sushi at Sam's Club is actually pretty good. The vegetarian sushi, I can't say anything for the non-vegetarian sushi, but the vegetarian sushi is good. I do enjoy it. But sometimes it's a miss, because sometimes it's like, what's going on here? Does that make sense? Oh, my siblings visited today, so we were all together and we decided to go to Main Street and walk around and That was fun. It's been a really long time since we went to Main Street together, all 5 of us. And we went to a couple of different shops, and there are also a lot of shops that opened up newly that we explored, and that was fun. We didn't get to spend a lot of time there because they wanted my brother back home to do Dundiras. So, yeah, but then after that, we went hiking, and like I said, it was so hot. It was so hot out today. That's what I was saying. That's what I forgot to mention. We were out on Main Street, and it was so blazing hot. I was like, what? What? Why is it randomly so hot? Because the rest of the week, the weather was pretty good. Like, the wind was nice, it wasn't too hot, it was just the perfect fall weather. And then the one day we were actually outside and going around and being like actively out and about is when it was so randomly hot. Okay, but I will say also Main Street looked so pretty. The trees, they were letting out their leaves, and oh my gosh, there were so many people today. But the atmosphere was good. I enjoyed it. It was really busy, actually, like really busy. We wanted to stop by a cafe, but the line was way too long, and we were kind of in a time crunch, like I said, and I was like, it's just not worth it, you know, the heat and everything is just, we didn't do it. But we did walk around Main Street and stop by a bunch of stores, and I think I had fun. I personally had a lot of fun, and I think my siblings did as well. And then we went hiking. Pro and con, the higher up we went with hiking, the colder it got. But the views were really nice, and coming back was nice as well, I guess. I don't know. I'm like, what am I saying? Point is, we went hiking. It was fun. We saw so many things. We talked a lot. Had a lot of fun. We came home in time, just in time for everyone to get showered, in time for dinner. That was a mess. What did I just say? We came home in time for everyone to have time to shower, in time before dinner. Yay. Okay. Random. Oh no, sorry, we jumped over a category. What I've been up to this week, I've been writing physically again in this notebook. This is my notebook. I've decorated with stickers. And this is the back. This notebook has seen many things. Originally, I actually have no idea what it was even going to be originally. I think I wanted to use it as my commonplace notebook because I used up my first commonplace notebook, if I can dig it out. This notebook is the perfect size notebook ever. I have never seen a notebook this size before, and I've been having so much trouble finding a notebook that is this size, these dimensions afterwards, which is insane. And the dollar store I bought this from got flooded last year because of Hurricane Helene, and it hasn't reopened since. I'm still holding out hope that it will open, but who knows? And I think actually at Five Below I found notebooks this dimension, but I have other notebooks to fill up as my commonplace notebooks. Like I have a commonplace notebook right here. This is my commonplace notebook. Do you see this? Like, do you see how much bigger this is compared to this one? And I think actually this one is a little bit wider than the average notebook as well. So I don't know. I still use it as my commonplace notebook, but not as much because it's not as portable as this one. Anyway, point is, what the heck? Okay, sorry, I'm all over the place. Point is, after I used up this notebook as my commonplace notebook, I got this because I was like, I think the dimensions are correct. I couldn't find anything with these dimensions, like I said. So I ordered this one, not the same dimensions. Absolutely not the same dimension. No. And it just wasn't comfortable writing in this one, going from writing in this one to going to writing in this one. And so I was like, what the heck? And then I put it off to the side for a little bit, and then I was using it to annotate books I was reading in a way, as in writing down my thoughts as I was reading books. And then I was like, I don't want to do that. I was like, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to do that anymore because I kept stopping every couple of sentences to write something down, which is good. I think it's good to interact with books you read. But I was getting so annoyed with myself, being like, why can't I not just read? Why do I have to stop every few sentences to write down everything? Like, I was writing down my reactions, I was writing down my thoughts and everything, and I got really frustrated with myself. I was like, maybe I should just keep this to myself. I don't know. I need to figure out a better system so I don't get frustrated with myself there. And then I was using this in the middle afterwards to kind of plan out my monthly to-do / curriculum. And then I found out that I don't like doing that, because then I just look at it and I'm just like, The point is, having a monthly to-do list just does not work for me. I need something daily. Daily to-do lists are much more applicable to my life. They work better. I work better with daily to-do lists rather than monthly to-do lists, because if it's monthly to-do list, I'll just put it off. I'll be like, I still have a lot of time to do it. I still have a lot of time to do it. So that, and then I was like, I'm just gonna use this as a writing notebook. I'm going to get back to writing physically, because previously I would just type on my laptop and I would get so distracted and I would not focus on one thing, and I just move on. And I was like, I just kind of miss writing physically. And then I pulled out some of my old notebooks that I used to write. Notebooks that look like this, actually, really tiny little composition notebooks. Perfect to write just stuff in, I don't know, practice poetry and stuff. I pulled those out and I was reading it. I was like, wow, I worked so much better writing physically than typing on my laptop. So I was like, I have a notebook and I just write really small in here just so it doesn't feel awkward. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone, but yeah, I'm really enjoying writing physically again, like practicing poetry and prose alike, prose poetry even. Like, can I say it's been really fun. I feel like it's a little bit more intimate. I feel like it's more personal. I connect to my own writing more and I can focus more on what I'm writing. There's pros and cons, of course. Pros and cons to writing physically and pros and cons to writing or typing on the laptop. I think I prefer writing physically at the moment. Yeah. I wrote something here. Oh, I feel more connected and present writing in my notebook, because it's just like I write, and I don't have to like be like, I'm not typing this right. I'm not writing this word is not right. I feel like I'm just forgetting the word I'm trying to use. This word is at the tip of my tongue. It doesn't happen as much when I'm writing physically, if that makes sense. And also, I like using different pen colors. I have so many pens left over from when I was still in university and actually using them for note-taking and assignments and stuff. And I enjoy having pens. And I also use colorful pens to write. Whatever. Point is, I'm using colorful pens to write my poetry and prose poetry alike. And it's fun. I like flipping through and being like, oh my god, this is so colorful. This is so fun. And it kind of helps me break up the different pieces of writing as well, which is really neat, in my opinion. Next, Julia Wolf. I finally sat down this week and listened to more Julia Wolf songs. If you don't know Julia Wolf, I'm really bad at musical genres. I'm so sorry, but she is the artist behind In My Room. I want your things in my room. Wow, that was awful. She's the artist behind In My Room. I want your things in my room. I miss you all of the time. I'm butchering that completely, but that song completely blew up on TikTok, and I'm not sure on Instagram because I haven't heard it on Instagram, but I hear it all the time on TikTok, and I have been for, I want to say, maybe about a year or so, and people associate it with the Twilight Saga, and every time I listen to the song, I can only think of the Twilight Saga, and it's such a good song, and I was like, I need more songs like this, and I was like, to get more songs like this, of course, listen to more of this artist. So I sat down and listened to Julia Wolf, and I like so many of her songs. They're so fun. I love this musical genre. I don't even know what it's called, and I'm like, I love this. So I'm loving Julia Wolf. We're finally onto random. I fill my water bottle. I can't show you my water bottle. Well, I can. I'm just kind of using it to prop up my phone right now. This is my water bottle. I usually fill it with warm, hot water because I just prefer it. I'm cold all the time, so warm water warms me from the inside. Duh. This just isn't right. What's going on over here? I don't know. Okay. And then I filled my water bottle with cold water because randomly I was like, I am just so thirsty for cold water specifically. And it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. I don't know. I still prefer drinking hot and warm water because, like I said, it warms me from the inside. But also, when I drink cold water, at some point, it hurts my throat and my tummy. But yeah, I don't know. I thought that was just interesting to know because I've been drinking hot water exclusively for a really long time, unless I'm outside, you know, when I'm outside and it's like super, super hot and I'm like, I will burn and die if I drink hot water. I drink cold water. Let's just say when I fill my water bottle at home, it is always, always with hot water. And it makes me feel nice and warm from the inside, and I adore it. Okay, that is all for this week's life vlog, actually. Let me know what you've been up to this past week, and yeah, that's it. If you watched this far, thank you so much. I really, really, really freaking appreciate you all, but I will see you next time. Be kind, be smart, and stay safe, everyone. Bye!